Today's creature of legend is that of the Yeti, the snowy Bigfoot of Asia, potentially a relative of the Gigantopithecus of more than 3,000 years ago. It is referenced in the mythology of the areas where it's found in the Himalayas of Nepal, China, Tibet, and India, where they are thought of as shy, peaceful, cave-dwelling creatures. And the legends range from the Yeti being a protector of the mountains to even wilder claims of the physical embodiment of the ghost of dead humans. We're not so sure of that one, but on all accounts, the Yeti is a majestic creature. And contrary to popular depiction, the Yeti does not possess a white coat, but dark, shaggy hair. There are also multiple types. The Mete, the Zuta, is a larger creature that sometimes walks on all fours, seeming half bear, half ape, while the Telma is the least researched, coming in at a whopping 3 feet tall, making its home in the valleys between the mountains, where some researchers believe them to be a race of primitive humans or proto-pygmies. The sightings and the claims date back centuries upon centuries, with some sources claiming as early as the 6th century, and some claim to have evidence from the 20th century. The most likely explanations are simply that if something was seen, it was the large black bear of some sort from Tibetan breeds, the Himalayan brown bear, the Asiatic black bear, quite the majestic sight, or even a langur monkey. Further speculation comes in the form of supposed DNA match between an unidentified Himalayan sample to an ancient polar bear. The Yeti will live on in our hearts and cool our beverages. Drink a cold one on me, Yeti believers. Ah yes, today we gaze upon the Akoroko Kamui, originating in Ainu and Shinto folklore and mythology. The Akoroko Kamui appears human-like, with the body of an inordinately large octopus, capable of swallowing an entire ship. It is described to have healing powers, particularly for ailments of the body, such as disfigurements or broken limbs. However, in earlier legends, Akoroko Kamui seems to be less benevolent, once swallowing an entire boat full of fishermen, residing in the Funka Bay of Hokkaido, Japan, with sightings as far west as Taiwan and Korea. The Akoroko Kamui has a red coloring and comes in at 120 meters or 390 feet in length, with the ability to self-amputate, much like an actual octopus species. The alleged sightings cover centuries, with a report of British missionary John Batchelor recalling a sighting in the book The Ainu and Their Folklore, where a great sea monster with large staring eyes had attacked 3 local fishermen in their boat and emitted a dark fluid and noxious odor. And the fishermen fled, not out of fear of death from the creature, but due to the dreadful smell it left behind. The simplest explanation of the Akoroko Kamui would be that of some abnormally large sea creature, like an octopus. But who knows what really lurks in the deeps of Funka Bay in Hokkaido. Our next creature is known as Momo and takes its namesake from the land which it was first discovered, Missouri. The Missouri monster stands a large 7-foot tall, hairy, dark, with the face of a man. It emits a terrible odor and makes gurgling sounds. It was first reported in July 1971 near Louisiana, Missouri by Joan Mills and Mary Ryan. According to them, they were picnicking and Momo came out of the woods. They immediately locked themselves in their car and Momo ate all their food. Some suggest it could be a common Missouri black bear. In 1972, Momo was seen by some children walking past carrying a dead dog. That very same day, a farmer saw a flash of light, heard growls, and smelled a strong odor that is associated with the Momo. It's unknown what the farmer saw in regards to the flashes of light, but it is clear that the hysteria over Momo might be attributed to Gail Siddharth, who faked a footprint of Momo when she was just a wee 7 years old, just to fool her parents. It was just a prank, bro. But her parents took it seriously, and the media and the experts all came down to verify her findings. Gail knew it had gotten too big, gone too far, to reveal that she had lied, that it was merely a prank, bro. And she never told anyone until years later. But by then, the legend of the Missouri Monster would live on deep in our hearts. And now, the legend of Nessie at Loch Ness in Scotland. I'm sure you've seen the pictures of the mythical beast. She appears as that of a plesiosaur, long thought extinct. It resides in the Ness with a diet mostly of fish found in the loch and the people who dove too deep. Much like the dwarves of Moria and the tale of the Balrog. The sightings of Nessie date far before those faked pictures and videos you've seen, dating as far back as the Romans who came to Scotland in the 1st century AD and saw that the Pict people drew all the animals they knew about on carved standing stones around Loch Ness. The only one that did not look familiar to the Romans was the one that looked awfully like what we now think of as Nessie. And in more recent years, from the 1970s up until this very day, there have been numerous sonar pings of, if not Nessie, then at least something that lurks in the deeps, big as a small well, up to 15 feet. The creature swims in the lake. In the 1970s, Robert Rhines and his team used a side-scan sonar which took pictures along with a strobe light every 45 seconds, and it aimed at the lake. In 1975, the sonar picked up something, and the picture they got back will blow your mind. Except we could not find that picture, but it was of an animal fin. In 1987, in the year of my birth, the Operation Deep Scan used 20 sonar-equipped boats to sweep the lake with sound. 3 underwater targets could not be explained. In the early 90s, a time when the tattoo ink never ran dry, Project Urquhart was an attempt to study the loch's biology and wildlife. They weren't looking for Nessie, but ended up detecting a large moving underwater target they ended up losing sight of. Much like the Bigfoot of the aquatic realm, Nessie eluded sight. And finally, in 1997, the very same Robert Rhines, along with his colleague Charles Wyckoff, detected another underwater target, and the expedition's sonar expert, biologist Ann Carr, said it was a moving target, about 15 feet long, the size of a small well. No visual evidence exists of the sighting, and that is where we stand on the legend of the plesiosaur of Lake Loch Ness. I realize it's redundant and that a loch is a lake, but Scotland needs to get with the picture. The creature we bring you today is one of Philippine mythology, with the Siyokoi mostly living in legend and lore passed down orally through the generations. The Siyokoi is a green, brown-skinned humanoid with fish-like features including a scaly body, webbed hands for aquatic locomotion. They also have webbed feet and several fins. These humanoid merfolk are all male according to myth and legend, and in some depictions and descriptions include long green tentacles, like that of the Cthulhu. They are also seen depicted in the popular Castlevania series, where they are assholes, and will knock you to your instant death in the water which Simon Belmont dare not tread, where they will feed upon fish and slap into a damage reeling animation that you have no control over. But there is also tale of a variant species of the Siyokoi, much more friendly in nature, more likely to help you than drown you before feasting upon your flesh and bone, said to commonly inhabit shallow waters as opposed to the murky deeps. While there are no alleged recent sightings, are there? I just made that part up. And just like the deeps they are known for, recent evidence and footage is murky at best. Siyokoi, we never loved you, but you will live on in our minds as that asshole from Castlevania forever. Our next creature is the most death metal of the cryptids, the Mongolian deathworm. Only more metal if it came from the lands of Scandinavia. It is known also as the Olgoi Korkoi.
because why not? It is associated with Mongolia, hence its namesake, the Middle East, Asia, and North Africa, specifically in desert landscapes, and its name means intestine worm. The creature appears blood red in color and is said to be between 2 and 7 feet long, and it has a gaping mouth on the front of its body, instantly making it Jared's favorite cryptid. Alleged rumors claim the butthole of the beast gapes twice as wide as that of the mouth. There is no video evidence to support this claim. The nomads of the area say that the creature covers its prey, mostly cattle and humans, with a thick yellowish acidic substance that kills instantly on contact. The creature is also said to generate blasts of electricity from its body, once again solidifying it as the most metal of cryptids. The first recorded sighting of the beast was about 1,000 years ago in Mongolia, but in more recent times, the times that matter, in 2005, a cryptologist conducted an expedition and found that an entire village shifted its position based on sightings of the animal. You'll always gape wide in our hearts, Deathworm.
And today, it's time for all you internet trolls to learn the meaning of Kappa. Literally, it means river child, but the underlying meaning is much more severe than you could have ever dreamed. But first, what is the Kappa? It is a reptilian creature walking upright, sometimes on all fours according to the species, roughly the size of a monkey, which is the standard unit of measurement in Japan. They have a shell like a turtle and very short hair, with the tops of their heads being bald, sort of like a European monk, with some depictions even having a dent with water in it, because why not? The Kappa sustains itself on the very phallic diet of cucumber and squash. They're known to attack people on the shore, drown them, and go for the booty. That's right, there's no need for hilarious conjecture or anecdotes there. What the Kappa desires most is the shirikodama, which is a small ball inside your anus, according to lore, not science. But the verdict is out on science right now. Hopefully they will be back to us shortly on the existence of the shirikodama in your very own asshole. In addition to the shorelines, the Kappa like to hide in toilets for obvious reasons. However, should you encounter the Kappa, it is polite and values respect. If you bow to a Kappa, it's bound to bow back and leave you alone, so that your asshole may remain tight for another day. It may also challenge you to a sumo match, which of course is just another ploy to get to that boo hole you treasure so dearly and clench so tight. They are apparently also really good farters according to lore. It is unknown the manner in which this skill is evaluated, but I will take lore and science's word for it. And here, you can see the recreation of a real sighting and encounter with the Kappa. Just yanking your chain. This is an advertisement for a professional fart entertainer that was big in Japan at the time. He's just showing he's so good, he can keep the Kappas at bay and your asshole safe. Just remember, the next time you think that's a bidet in that Japanese toilet, it might just be the tongue of the Kappa vying for the shirikodama, which you hold dear.
Oh gosh! Oh wow!
Oh God, Jesus! Oh my God, that's fantastic. It's better if you relax.
Hello and welcome. Today, I will be your host, David Attenbell. We will be discussing the legend of the Naga. The Naga is a creature from India appearing in both Hindu and Buddhist mythology. The Naga is a creature you might be familiar with from games such as World of Warcraft. Its human up top and snake below the waist makes it a major player in the Indian porn industry. They are also considered semi-divine. They are known to live under the sea as kings, queens, and so forth in an underground realm known as the Patala. These Naga, much like humans, are neither good nor evil, as it varies according to the serpentine human that you encounter. Some are demons, some are gods. While recent sightings of the creature may be sparse, they are first depicted in the Sanskrit epic the Mahabharata. One famous Naga named Muchalinda sometimes spread his cobra hood to shelter the Buddha while he meditated so he can protect Vishnu from those dreadful UV rays. Here is a more recent sighting to close us out.
The Mongolian Mbembe is the dinosaur of West Africa, specifically found in the Congo River Basin. Its name means the one who stops the flow of rivers in the language of the Lingala. In appearance, it looks similar to that of the Brachiosaurus with its long neck, its gliding tail, featuring a rounded body and 3 claws. Reports have the monster between 16 to 30 feet long. Some reports say that it is to have a frill or horn upon its head and appear to be gray or brownish. The natives say the monster eats primarily the malombo plant. Reports say that the Mongolian Mbembe hates the hippopotamus and will kill them on sight, but does not eat the meat. The monster will also reportedly kill people by destroying their boats or by hitting them with its powerful tail. The monster, however, does not eat them because of its herbivorous nature. The meat of the Mongolian Mbembe is also said to be poisonous. A group of villagers once killed one of the majestic beasts, and everyone who ate the meat perished. The local tribes of the area claim multiple sightings annually. In addition, in 1992, a Japanese expedition supposedly saw one of the creatures, and there were multiple sightings between 2000 and 2002 in Cameroon.
Not only the animal's size, but the sound that it made terrified the boy.
And that concludes our brief profile of the Mongolian Mbembe. Our next creature is the Ahool, flying freely over the jungles of Java and across most of Indonesia. It is described as an extraordinarily large bat or flying ape. Insert Wizard of Oz joke here, if you know what's good for you. It is between 4 and 6 feet tall with a 12-foot wingspan. It has large claws with reddish-brown wings and gray fur. The male Ahool is a solitary beast, while the females and their young live in groups. Because of this, the males are often enslaved by the undead and forced to serve as their means of transport through the Undercity. The Ahool is a carnivorous creature. They prey on animals ranging from small cats to humans. They stalk their prey in the forest while upside down in the trees. While carefully surveying their prey, they lunge onto them, snapping their spine with their teeth and wrapping their wings around it, taking to the skies to devour the soft, smooth flesh of the victim. The Ahool is believed to have been sighted by Dr. Ernest Bartels while exploring Java in 1925 and 1927. All in all, it is more likely that the legend of the Ahool comes from these actual giant-ass bats and the actual existence of this flying fox. And that concludes your profile of the Ahool. Today, we take you on a profiling of one of the most vicious cryptids, the Goatman. The Goatman has been reported anywhere from Maryland to Louisiana to Texas to Kentucky, California, and Pennsylvania. The Goatman appears nearly identical to the ancient Greek satyr, standing as high as 7 feet, with horns, the head of a goat, the muscular body of a man, and the legs of a goat. It is of note that the Viejas tribe have a creature with this description in their folklore that guards the ancient burial grounds. One story goes that a scientist was working in an agricultural research facility when an experiment he was performing on goats went bad. He began carrying around an axe and roaming Beltsville, Maryland. If you encounter the Goat Man, your best hope for survival is to flee the scene as fast as possible. The creature has been known to attack couples in parked cars. Stories of luring the male out of the car, then hanging him upside down on a tree nearby for the female to find. He also is known to break into people's houses and rape his victims, no matter the gender. And if you leave your cattle and farm animals unattended, they will be targeted too. None are spared from the wrath of the Goat Man. Multiple sightings of the creature were reported in Waterford, Pennsylvania in the early 70s, and there is even an alleged preserved footprint from the Goat Man in the Bonita Museum in Chula Vista, California. One could also nearly assume that he is the basis for the story of the Alabama Goat Man creepypasta, but I've never read it. So if you encounter the Goat Man, keep your butthole tight and run the other way. Ah yes, how could we not profile for you the cow-eating tree, found in remote areas of India, also referred to as the Pili Mara or tiger tree. Differing from our usual cryptid, this isn't a creature at all, but a plant. That's right, we have dove deep down the rabbit hole into cryptobotany. Yes, apparently that is a thing. These trees look like any other tree, and obviously given its namesake, the target of the cow-eating tree is beef. But when a cow is found, the trees attack while the animal is turned around, grabbing its tail and hind legs, entangling it so it cannot get away. And then, no one knows how the tree manages this feat. Its attack has never been witnessed. Ignore what I said about no witnesses to the attack, because in 2007, in Padrame, there is a report of a cow being grabbed but was rescued when the villagers struck mortal blows to the tree, felling it, saving the cow's life. So the next time you see a cow-eating tree, be sure to strike mortal blows. Today's journey takes us to the Philippines, where we encounter the Manananggal. The Manananggal is a type of Aswan, which is a general term for the creatures, cryptids, ghosts, ghouls, and other horrible things that find their home in the Philippines. And it is believed that the creature splits in the night to fly out and hunt for its prey. It appears during the day as any normal woman would, and then when night comes, it transforms into the horrible beast we know is the Manananggal, wherein it sprouts bat-like wings and flies out to search for its prey. And from here, it takes on its second name of the tick-tick, based on the sound it makes with its flapping wings, and in some manner of sonic sorcery, tricks its victims, as the quieter the tick of the wings get, the closer it is, and the farther away, the louder the clicks. The creature is said to have been spotted for generations, and myths and legends date back centuries in Philippine mythology. Whenever the Manananggal sets out, it seeks pregnant sleeping women, wherein it uses its slender long tongue to eat and feast upon the hearts of fetuses. According to some stories, it merely sucks their blood in a vampiresque manner. Nevertheless, this Manananggal is not a creature you want to encounter. However, should you be able to discover its lower half, this is where the creature is at its most vulnerable, for if it cannot reattach by sunup, it will perish. If you come across the lower half of the Manananggal, then you should attack it with salt and garlic to stop the creature from reattaching. And that's the profile for today's cryptid.